What is happening? We are back, Hay Arquero podcast, episode number 5. I'm your host, Guillermo. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Jordy and Vicente. And we're just going to be talking about, well, let's just get into it, no? Champions League last week.
Yeah, we got a bit of catching up to do. Saw some crazy matches, but, we have our final, Dortmund, Madrid, at Wembley, June 1st. It's going to be a crazy game. We got an unexpected final here. The Dortmund, no one had them on the cards. If we go back to our brackets on our very first episode that we did, oh man, we'd be shocked at the results. Vicente,
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about the Dortmund match against PSG. We'll start with that, and then we'll go to Bayern.
So we saw a good Dortmund side at the first leg. Playing in Germany. You're playing with your fans, and they played a perfect game. They defended well, they attacked well. They were able to. They had multiple chances. Honestly, they could have finished that game 2-0 or even 3-0. And then they go to France, and they don't show their best form or best face, but they do enough to advance. And I'll say it's much more. It's a lot more because PSG couldn't score rather than Dortmund defending well. Because PSG had so many chances. I think Mbappe hit like 3 or 4 times the crossbar, and Dembele had some occasions as well. Vitinha played phenomenal as well. So I heard Luis Enrique said I don't know what to say to the press. There's nothing I can say because they played well, they attacked well, they just couldn't put the ball inside the net. And at the end of the day, that's what you got to do in soccer. And Dortmund did enough, and they are going to play in London.
Yeah, I just feel like in these kinds of situations, it's like no team is better than the other, but you just watch these Bayern players play, and they will absolutely just kill themselves for the badge if that's what they have to do for Dortmund to win. And they're following the quote unquote group of death from back in the day. There was Dortmund, PSG, AC Milan, and Newcastle. Dortmund onto the final after beating PSG. It really is surreal, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, almost getting the goal. It's so impressive, honestly, at his age. Some of the things that he's doing here. He's going to be playing another Champions League final. Marco Reus. Let's see if he can get the sending off that he deserves.
Yeah.
But it won't be easy. I mean, it's a Madrid side that wins finals. I mean, it's Madrid. It's
Madrid doesn't play finals. They win.
They win finals.
And then, but also something that I want to pick up. You mentioned Hummels goals. Another time where we see someone heading the ball inside the 6-yard box.
On Donnarumma.
And that's so alarming for
PSG.
PSG.
Get off your line there.
Yeah, and we will get into Mbappe news later, but they also announced that Keylor Navas will be leaving too. They have Arnau Tenas, former Barcelona player, who is a backup goalkeeper. But Luis Enrique today, he on a press release, he was saying that he wants at least 2 good players per position, and it's going to be hard to play in PSG. And honestly, that's a position that if I was a PSG fan, I will be alarmed. And I want someone there to compete against Donnarumma because he has done some mistakes, big mistakes.
Yeah, they could look at keepers like, I don't know, let's say like Lunin, for example. Keepers that could be looking to get a starting spot at a different team, especially with the season that Lunin has had with Madrid. Maybe a PSG move could be good for someone like him.
Yeah,
I don't think it's over for Donnarumma. Obviously, well, they brought him on because they wanted him to be the face of the goalkeeper position for this upcoming PSG project. But I mean, when you're I don't know, he's what? He's super tall, over 6'6". I'm more than sure about that. And letting just balls get inside of the box like that in these kinds of situations and these clutch performances, it really does raise the question that they will need maybe more an experienced keeper for what PSG want to attain in the future years.
On paper, he's the perfect goalkeeper when you look at his height and everything, but realistically, he has made so many mistakes that a goalkeeper shouldn't be making it. And also, back then, a few years ago, you'll say, "Oh, he's so young," but he's not that young anymore. He has the experience of winning a Euro Cup with Italy. He should know better, and that's something that they definitely have to work on.
Yeah. I mean, what a run for Dortmund. I'll be straight up honest here. I didn't even have them getting out of that group. And, that group that they had with the PSG, Milan, Newcastle.
And AC Milan, yeah.
I didn't have them getting out of that, and here they are in the final. So very impressive coaching by them, and it's got to be said, the Bundesliga is looking fantastic in these European competitions right now.
Yeah, talking about Bundesliga, as we transition to that Bayern match, what do you guys think of it? Because that Madrid game at the Bernabeu,
Man.
it was an extraordinary game, but I still feel like the first leg was a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
in terms,
I think the last 10 minutes of the Madrid game were obviously
they were
crazy.
very exciting,
Yeah.
but as a match, the first game
I
was a
agree.
lot better because they both attack.
Yeah,
In this match, people are saying that, oh, Madrid game winning in the very last minute, no one knows how. Bro, they dominated the match. Like, they could have easily scored 2 or 3 goals in the first half.
Yeah.
I was honestly surprised when the first half ended. I was like, how is this 0-0? Like, it makes no sense. Like, Madrid is going to score at any point, and then Alphonso Davies just scores an absolute
Banger, my
screamer, bro.
on his right foot as well.
Yeah.
Right foot.
Getting subbed on at left wing, like last match, like the first leg, we wanted to see Alphonso Davies. Here he comes in, and I think Nabry got like injured,
Yeah.
and then they subbed on Alphonso Davies, has a run, cuts in on his right, and just absolute banger. Like
Yeah.
it really was an amazing goal, and also like Madrid didn't. It's not like they stayed back and they were just counterattacking and defending and all sort of stuff. At times they had the ball and they wanted to push forward. But honestly, credit to both teams. They both played a really good match, and unfortunately, just Madrid, getting the late goal. Bayern needed to get one back, and then of course there was a bit of a controversy in terms of them getting a incorrect call, as what the lineman told De Ligt about getting that offside whistle, not letting the play go through. What do you guys think about that? Like, should he have blown the whistle? What do you like?
He shouldn't have, but at the same time, arguing that it should have been a goal is stupid because the result, it was a mistake. The FIFA, the protocol, demands the referees to allow, the ball to continue, the play to continue going. But, he did, blew the whistle and that's it. It's a mistake, but it is what it is. Like,
that's what it is at the end of the day. He blew the whistle and the call was decided.
yeah. And it was close, but I still feel like if they would have gone to VAR, I feel like he was a little bit off. Like, it would have been one of those, like, when they do the whole, like, animation thing.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been by, like, an elbow or something. Like, it was really close, but I still feel like he was off.
Yeah, no, definitely the wrong thing to do there is to stop the play. And you gotta let that play. But you have to consider that even with this Bayern goal, the substitutions that were made, by Tuchel, like you take out Harry, you take out Musiala, you have nothing to work with in extra time. So I think Madrid pulls this result anyway in extra time if Bayern get that goal.
Yeah, I was talking with my friends on a group chat as we were watching the game, and when Bayern scored the goal and they started making subs, I promise you, I texted, Madrid is gonna win this match.
Yeah.
Because it almost felt like Bayern didn't know that there was extra time. Like, they just forgot that there was extra time, and they could have just make defensive subs but still keep some kind of form.
Yeah.
So that in the case where Madrid scores a goal, you can go to extra time and still fight.
Yeah.
And 2, they forgot that it's Real Madrid.
Yeah.
like they're gonna play until the very last second.
And they forgot Ancelotti just has to raise his eyebrow. and it's over.
Exactly. So putting just 7 defenders on is not gonna do anything. You still need to play like composed. And that's how Manchester City beat Real Madrid last year. They dominated and they won 4-0. But they kept some kind of composure. They kept some kind of form in the lineup that made sense. They just they didn't score 2 goals and then they parked the bus. No, they tried to continue playing their game, and Tuchel definitely made some mistakes in those subs.
Yeah, I mean, he subbed out Leroy Sané at the 76th minute, way too early for that, and then just taking off Harry Kane. And I mean, you could argue that Musiala or Thomas Muller for Musiala was a decent sub, but taking off Harry Kane, taking off Sané, like those are your weapons, man. Like you're in the Champions League, trying to get to the final, you can't be taking off these players.
Yeah, and talking about players, we gotta talk about Beanie, man. I mean,
Kimmich was just...
Yeah, he was having a hard time.
Yeah.
But Vinicius, right now, I feel like Mbappe is a little bit more talented, but based on form, Vinny is the best player in the world, even better than Bellingham, because I haven't seen this kind of. He's such a weapon every time. Like, it doesn't matter if it's the first minute of the game or the very last minute of the game. He's always fast. He's always making the right choices. And yeah, he may have a hard time finishing. I think that's something that he can improve. But when he's on the wing, like you know that he's gonna cause trouble, and that's crazy. Like I haven't seen that in so many years.
Yeah, and he makes all kinds of runs in the middle. He makes vertical runs. He really does have like that IQ. He's got that speed, and if he's got this team around him, Tony Cruz is feeding him balls and stuff like that. Like it really is a lethal weapon to have.
Yeah, he's definitely moved up in my number one in my personal Ballon d'Or rankings for the end of the year.
Yeah, talking about the Madrid team, we're gonna talk about some crazy news that people. I feel like the majority of people already knew that it was gonna happen. We're just waiting to see when it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But Mbappe finally announces that he will be leaving PSG after I think it was 7 years. He will be joining most likely Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I heard that Madrid doesn't want to make any announcements yet. They want to wait until the Champions League final. After that, they will announce before the Euro Cup. I can't wait for whenever they present Mbappe at the new Bernabeu. They will probably pack. It will be similar to Ronaldo's.
Yeah.
That will be something exciting to see. But talking about Madrid, what's the future of this team look like? Like, what's the future of soccer look like? Like, this is like some like video game type.
Yeah, this is like career mode.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. Like, you have Rodrigo, who, they signed Rodrigo and Vini at the same time. And they were projects that almost felt like they turned out perfectly. Like, Florentino Perez couldn't have imagined this. Like, in a few years, they turned into the best players.
Yeah.
You signed, you went from Casemiro, Modric, and Kroos to Tchouaméni, Valverde, and Camavinga.
Yeah.
With Kroos, like, still adding his experience, and one Modric to stay was still a no.
Luka stopped that counter.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Like, they have an
experience.
amazing team that is just constantly transforming into younger and younger talent.
Yeah.
They will bring Endrick soon as well.
Yep.
Like, this is an insane team. But what would Madrid look with Mbappe?
I mean, it's tough, man. Like it's tough to even imagine because like Mbappe, Rodrigo, Vinicius up top, like that's something I don't even want to imagine that. Like I don't even. And then with Bellingham playing in the midfield, because you now that you'll actually have like a consistent forward, Bellingham will have more of a midfielder, more of a creator, more of a holding role.
What he does in England.
Yeah, and that's what he does best.
Yeah.
So that is even going to make the Madrid team excel even more. And then with all these other players that can play all these different positions, it really is shocking, and it really is it's ropes for football. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think it's the right decision for Mbappe. You went to PSG, you tried to do the project, and you brought in Neymar. It didn't work so well. You brought in Messi, it didn't work so well. I think this is the right decision for him if he wants to not sort of cement his legacy, because he already has a legacy. It's Mbappe, World Cup, 2 World Cup finals at his age already, and he's going to be the top World Cup scorer. He should break the record by the next World Cup. So he definitely has a legacy already. But in terms of club football, there's more that needs to be done for Mbappe here. So I think he's making the right decision.
And this shows that there's nothing bigger than Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I'm a Barca fan, but you just gotta accept it. Like, there's nothing bigger than Real Madrid. No one's bigger than Real Madrid. Because in the past years, it was kind of like, oh, look, like Mbappe doesn't want to go to Madrid, and he's playing with them. He's kind of using them to get a bigger salary at PSG. Yeah. But this time, everyone has realized that it's not Madrid who needs Mbappe. It's Mbappe who needs Real Madrid.
Yep.
To get the things that he wants. He obviously wants to win Champions League, and therefore he will win Ballon d'Ors. And the place to do that is in Madrid or some other club, because you're not going to do it in PSG.
I agree 100%. So definitely the right decision for Mbappe. And I really do hope that it works out for him, because I want to see Mbappe really flourish and show his full potential that he shows at the World Cup.
You guys think that he can disrupt the locker room?
I think that's
a possibility.
Yeah.
I've had this discussion with a few friends, and it could be possible, especially with considering that him and Vinny play the same position. They're both at their best on the wing, in my opinion, rather than at the 9. So possible.
I'll tell you why I don't think nothing is going to happen. It's because we already saw a Madrid team this year, because they didn't have a 9, that Ancelotti demanded everyone to constantly move off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
If Vinicius receives on the wing, Rodrigo needs to make runs. Valverde, Bellingham, everyone needs to be doing that. And next year, with Mbappe playing as a 9, Ancelotti's, I'm pretty sure he's going to tell the exact same thing. Hey, even though you are or 9, you need to move off the ball, and that's just going to create more chances. When you watch Madrid play, they're constantly making 1-2 passes inside the box. No other team can do that. And that's why I feel like Mbappe, even though he's, you may say like, oh, I want to play as a winger, he's going to feel the freedom to move everywhere he wants on the pitch. Yeah. And that's why I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah. You could also trust the kid.
I mean, Endrick.
It depends, though. It just depends on how he turns out and if he can adapt quickly.
But I feel like he will understand his role. Like, if you're coming the same year, because they're waiting until he turns 18, I believe. So, you're coming into a team with Vinicius, Rodrigo, who are your, like, national team teammates, the best players in the world right now. And you also are coming to a team with Mbappe, also the best player in the world right now. Like, you sort of understand your role there, that you need to be, like, you're going to be in the low-key, like, lower levels of the lineup.
Which is crazy to think about, and that's just Madrid and their talent. But I think Mbappe, I think it's gonna be a little bit rough in the beginning, because I do think that Mbappe has like an ego. He kind of showed it in PSG, and he's matured over the years. I will like say that, but it's not gonna be as seamlessly as a transition. I feel like the Madrid locker room are so in sync that it's not as easy as a player like Mbappe to just seamlessly transition like we've seen other players do so. But with that being said, he won't have a hard time. That's where he's been wanting to go. It's been written in the stars. And then there's also been like, reports and rumors of Alphonso Davies going to Real Madrid, and that would be, that's
his contract ends at the end of the season, so they more than likely will get him for free as well.
Yes. But Mendy's still doing well. That's just great. And they also signed Fran Garcia this year, who had like that like backup role as well. But another team that is not, having hard time trying to win the league. Is Manchester City. And obviously they play against Tottenham today as we're recording this Tuesday. But now that we're transitioning to Premier League, we were talking before recording how this Premier League run has been pretty intense. And even though Manchester City they had like a 10-point deficit, they still needed to climb back up. They did it in such a not easy but automatic way. They just
started winning.
Yeah, they just started winning, and beating teams 3-4-0, and they just went back up.
Yeah, I mean, they just kind of did what City does best. Sneak up on the title race and eventually just be in the number 1 spot. And staying consistent. That's usually what they do. They have a couple of hiccups at the beginning of the season, but towards the end of the season, City do what City do best, and that's close it out. So it's really tough, man. Like, I really don't see City dropping points. Yeah, that's what it's gonna have to take. City to drop points and Arsenal to win their last match against Everton if they want to get into and getting a chance to get in the Premier League. It's just gonna come down to City dropping points. But like I said, I really don't see that happening.
What happens if Arsenal doesn't win the league after fighting for during the entire entire year or the entire season? What? How as an Arsenal fan, like, what do you do? Like, as you head forward to next season, like, what's left? Because it's similar to Liverpool. It's like we try every year. We
come so close. You're always in the lead heading into Christmas.
One year we make 80 points. The next year we make 90, and we're still losing. Like, it's crazy. Like, they have a goal differential. They have plus 61, 89 goals for Arsenal, 28 goals against. Manchester City has 91 goals for them and 33 against, plus 58 in the goal differential. But that just show they have been competing against one another, but it still feel like there's nothing like Manchester City. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. But it is gonna come down to the end. I mean, if you're Spurs, what do you do here? God, like, seriously, if man, it's so tough. It's probably so tough to be a Spurs fan today. Like, as we're recording this, because it's like you're probably just thinking like
you're going to Europa League.
Yeah,
so they can't go to Champions League.
Yeah, Villa have done it.
Yeah, so
shout out to Emery.
Yeah, Liverpool and Villa are gonna get the 2 other Champions League spots. Tottenham is going to the Europa League, and there's nothing they can do because Newcastle and Chelsea and United are fighting for the Conference League spot. But if I was a Tottenham fan, I would demand my players to like
Give the academy boys, just give them a shot.
yeah, like play with the starters, some academy players, but just let City win because you can't at the end of you can't just play win and then leave the league for your opposing
For your rival.
enemy. Yeah, you just can't do that.
No, definitely.
Not cool.
Yeah, but I mean, if Spurs win, it gets crazy.
It gets really
It gets
interesting.
really, really crazy. But if City wins, it's not done, but virtually, we're thinking, all right, congrats to Manchester City.
Yeah, City will close against West Ham. Arsenal will play Everton at home, both at home, which is nice. Like if they win, they will be with their
They'll
fans.
be at home.
Yeah, so that's cool as well. United will play against Brighton. Chelsea will play against Bournemouth, and then and then Newcastle is playing against Brentford away. It would be nice to see what happens in the very last match day of the Premier League, but I feel like it's gonna be a City win.
Yeah, I mean it's just kind of like the Premier League these past couple of years, and credit to Arsenal as well. Like so hard fought, man. Like they deserve it so much. I personally want City to drop points and Arsenal to take it because I mean we're just gonna keep on seeing this City and Arsenal rivalry, and with amongst other big clubs trying to get into the conversation. But I just want to see Arsenal get one over City after last year, after the year before, and after what they've been going through for these past couple of seasons. And I don't think that they're stopping anytime soon. This was a young project, and it's been really well developed. But I do think that maybe what Arsenal kind of needs is I don't know, like a player that can be like
Special talent.
like a special talent, big name player,
Crazy.
just consistent, and to help them get over these these final matches, these thresholds that they've been missing out on, and even if it's by a point or by one victory, that's just how close the Premier League
And
is.
you know why you're right? It's because when you look at the top goal scorers and top assists, like you don't see an Arsenal player. Like you see Saka with 16 goals, but he's 9 away from Haaland, who has 25. And none of the Arsenal players are top of the list with assists. So that just speaks about they don't have a player who is gonna stacking up numbers. Like Messi at Barca. He was gonna give you 20 goals per season, 10 assists. Ronaldo as well. They don't have that type of player, and they need that.
Yeah.
They need that. Like if you put the kind of player that onto this team, that doesn't barely drops points, like they for sure will win something.
Yeah, but it's like always, the Premier League is one of the most or most competitive league, most interesting league, because even though it's kind of set in stone that City's gonna win, it
always
doesn't.
comes down to the end. It's never a free run for them.
Yeah, it's not like other leagues that they finish really early. Like we got La Liga.
Serie A,
La Liga, Serie A.
So many leagues that finish like months before the actual end of the season. But transitioning to La Liga, Real Madrid decides to make subs, play with players like Courtois, like Militao, Fran Garcia, Arda Güler, like players who barely get minutes because they have like talented players in their position or because of injuries, and they still get the dub. Like that's just crazy. That just speaks about how successful this Madrid team has been this season, where they get points no matter the situation they're in. No matter whether we're dominator or we're not, we're still getting the 3 points that we need.
Yeah, it just shows the depth of this team, and a lot of these guys like Arda, Brahim, they know their role on this team, right? And it's to come in games like this and take advantage of the opportunity, give the fans a show, go out there, express yourself, and show that I'm on the bench, but I'm at Real Madrid, and there's a reason I'm at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So I think games like this give these type of players confidence, to continue at a team like Real Madrid and not get desperate and want to transfer to another team because you want the spotlight. They know their role, and that's what I appreciate about guys like Arda and Brahim.
I just feel like that just comes down to Ancelotti, man. He spreads this beautiful mentality that Real Madrid have embedded in their DNA, as I like to say. And Ancelotti is just the spearhead of this group, man. Like he really is a remarkable coach. Adjusting in all kinds of situations, making these players shine, and making them look like they're the best players in the world. You know that's not easy to do. That's not that's not easy whatsoever.
And something that Ancelotti recently said on the with the press, he was like, I do want to set up structure. I do want to allow my players to have some kind of role to stay in a position, but I also want to give them the freedom to have creativity, and that's so special in this Real Madrid team because players don't feel the pressure that they have to stay in one wing, stay there, make the same pass every time. No, you receive the ball and you have the freedom to do what you want to do. Whatever you want to do, create danger, score, go forward, help your fullbacks. Like you have the freedom to play as like whatever way you want, and that's just special about this Real Madrid team.
So I had a question, come up the other day, and basically very simple. Ancelotti or Pep Guardiola as a coach?
What are we trying to win? Everything?
I mean, it's just simple. Who's a better coach?
Pep.
Why do you say Pep?
Because Pep is able to establish one specific way to play. And I know I just said that Ancelotti is able to, provide creativity and freedom, but Pep is able to establish as a coach, he knows what he has, like he knows what he wants to do, and no matter what team he's coaching, he's able to put that idea into the team and then win leagues and leagues. And yeah, Champions League is a little bit different, but he wins leagues and cups, and that's not easy.
Yeah. What do you say, Jordy?
I think I'll have to give it to Pep as well, but it's a lot closer than people think. I know we meme Ancelotti for raising his eyebrows and things like that, but Ancelotti has won 7 of 8 Champions League knockout rounds against Pep, so kind of has his number a little bit there. But
on the head-to-head.
That's just head-to-head matchups. We shouldn't just look at head-to-head matchups, obviously, but Ancelotti has shown that tactically he's up there as well.
Yeah, he's up there. He knows the things he has to do to have good teams. But I just feel like Pep Guardiola is the type of manager that can set up a system wherever he is. Yeah. And Ancelotti has done as well. He has won with AC Milan. He has won with Madrid. He has won in England as well.
Yeah.
But Pep does it in the one specific way wherever he goes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Ancelotti adapts to whatever he has, but Pep can do it no matter who he's with. He can do it in the specific way that he wants to win.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. We were about to see Ancelotti at Brazil for a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
that was crazy. That would have been crazy to see, and who knows? I'd love to see either of these managers go to a different team.
Oh, I would love that. I feel like that's coming.
Yeah.
That's coming.
The international route. I would love to see. I mean, it's just a completely different game, though.
Yeah.
It's a completely different game. But would love to see something like that for sure.
It's harder to manage national teams because you don't have much time with players. You have a couple of weeks before tournaments start or before you have to play for like qualifiers or something. So you need to have like your ideas like set up, and you need to have players at the best form possible.
Yeah.
So I feel like Ancelotti will excel more in those kind of situations because he's able to adapt players to what he wants.
Yeah. No, yeah. It just comes down to, I think Ancelotti, he's just a winner. Like how you say he adapts in these kind of situations. But me personally, I would, I gotta give credit to him in terms of in the conversation about being a manager, being a coach, because it takes one. It takes one to adapt. It takes one to change play style. It takes one to make these players play in different positions and stuff like that. Because Pep, it's been happened before where they just get defended low block and he sticks through it. And he can't get it done in these like knockout formats. But Pep does excel in these league-based formats where consistency and just form is so important.
And that's why he's I think he's only behind Sir Alex Ferguson in the race for coaches with most titles won. He's only behind him, and he's so young too. Like he still has, I'll say, easily 2 decades of coaching career.
That's enough.
So he's definitely gonna pass Sir Alex Ferguson. But I don't know. It's a tough conversation to have, and it also
It
depends
is.
on who you support.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you're a Madrid fan, yes, if you have seen Ancelotti win for so many years, you're definitely gonna say Ancelotti.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, touching up on La Liga, Barca playing for pride here, playing strictly for pride, but they're back
More
up to
than
second,
pride, I think I'll
Yeah.
say money.
and the spot for the Super Cup as well.
Yeah,
so.
because that brings so much money, and it's not only that it brings money to the club, but it's money that they need.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
why Laporta is. There have been rumors that Laporta, after they lost 4-2 against Girona at Girona, he was saying like, this can't happen. This is not possible, especially because of the way it happens. He was at the VIP section in the stadium. He was like, it's not possible. Like, he was just really mad at what was happening, what he was witnessing.
Yeah.
Not only because they were losing, but they cannot. When you plan a season, like Laporta planned this season to either win La Liga and make even more money,
Yeah.
or at least get second, because you go to the Super Cup that it's played in Saudi Arabia, and when you say Saudi Arabia, you know that money is into play. So and they
Yeah.
need that money.
Yeah. So, what are y'all's expectations for Barcelona for next season? Because this season's kind of over. Are we looking at like, do we gotta win La Liga? Like, is that what we're trying to do? We gotta win any kind of cup.
I don't want to talk about winning anything. I just want players to consolidate into their positions. And Barca keeps going into transition seasons. Where
Yeah.
we're it's always like about a project and how we're gonna look in a couple years. I just want players to consolidate in their position and say, this is mine. Because they did that last year winning La Liga and Super Cup. And this year, this was supposed to be that season where we consolidate and we establish and we say, this is our starting 11, and from there on we compete. But once again, you had Dembele left, injuries. And then once again, you're still in doubt who is gonna play. Like, what's the starting 11 gonna look like? So next year, I just want Barcelona to consolidate. Like, I don't care about winning titles. Just find out who is going to be in your team and who's going to start.
Yeah, consistency in the lineup is definitely the most important thing heading into the next season. That should be the main goal. We cannot have another situation like Victor Roques. We cannot have that. We can't be spending money on a guy like this, and he's linked with Inter and Porto. He's looking to leave already, because he's not the favorite. Lewa's the favorite. Yeah,
But
better decisions.
it makes sense that Lewandowski is the favorite.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm mad about is that we don't have much money to spend.
Yeah.
And we spend it in a player that not everyone in the club agrees to.
Mm-hmm.
That just shows that there's so many different parties and so many different ways of thinking within the club, and that doesn't help everyone. That doesn't help anyone, because you need consistent. Like, they need to sit down and figure out, like, who are we going for? Like, we need to collectively work and bring the best out of something that we come up. We cannot just be making investments in our separate ways,
Yeah, and I think, like, Victor, I understand that, like, the management already said he's not gonna come in the program and stuff like that. But, like, we don't have a backup striker.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, you're behind Lewandowski and you're behind another sub and then another sub. You were the second choice. Sure, you haven't been able to play, but that's kind of a different story. Like, you kind of just got in here. Maybe, like, during the summer he could play the friendlies. He can get some minutes. He can get on the roll, but, like, it just also dials down to, like, the mentality. Like,
yeah, yesterday against Real Sociedad, it was Ferran Torres who ended up coming on for Lewandowski as a 9.
Yeah.
And that just shows how he doesn't really trust Victor Roque to play in that position. Well, like you said, he needs more minutes to actually prove something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but yeah, there was action in North America this weekend.
yeah.
Liga MX, liguillas started. So yeah, some crazy matchups. But I want to start off with an interesting clip that I saw on Twitter, and this was hilarious. And it's Alexis Vega.
Oh, okay.
Scoring for Toluca, takes his shirt off, starts crying, and the goal is disallowed.
Yep.
The goal is disallowed. Chivas goes on to win. They hold on at the Nemesio 10, and they get it done. But that was hilarious. That was, yeah.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
That's just Alexis Vega. Toluca. He was in Toluca first. He was an amazing player in Toluca. Like, he scored some of the best goals in Liga MX in this past couple of years. And then he goes to Chivas. Everybody knows he's going to shine. Everything's just linked to Europe and stuff like that. Back to Toluca. Great season. And then this happens. It was an emotional moment for him, but he definitely got
It's common nowadays with VAR. That's why sometimes, like, when I see players celebrating in like really passionate ways, I'm still like, dude, like, you should know better. Like you know that VAR is there and anything can happen, especially when you take your shirt off, because you're still gonna get the yellow even if it's disallowed. So don't take your shirt off.
Blue America hanging on.
Oh yeah,
tied one against Pachuca. You know, I made my prediction last episode. I believe I didn't think it was going to be this close at all. But I mean, America in the 94th minute, crazy. You know, we talked about the rule as well.
It's
rule and it benefits America here.
It does, and it's kind of tough because like Pachuca, you know, they had beaten America in the CONCACAF Champions League. And then after that, they had to play the play-in matches, and they had to play the second round of the play-in matches, and then they had to play America, and then like they were playing so good against America, and in the second leg as well, it was just so unfortunate that like in the dying minutes, Julian Quiñones scores like a 94th minute goal. It was like, it was a goal. But it was just unfortunate, you know, for the Pachuca fans.
Yeah, for sure.
And there wasn't any point during the series where America was ahead in the score. So it's so like I am so against the rule that, you know, if they tie, it's up to how you finish in the table. That like it's so like unlucky for Pachuca. That's just straight up what it is. Like it's just unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of liguilla is that everybody's got an equal chance. You know, I understand the away goal and stuff like that. Okay, but then take it to extra time. If the away goal, you know, that's kind of like the same thing that happened with the Rayados game. Rayados won, but in the second leg, in the first leg, it was 2-1. And then in the second leg, it was 1-1. But so Tigres had tied 2-2, but they were still losing because of like away goals and stuff like that. And then we scored another one, and then they had to score 2 more to get ahead.
And that makes sense in a way.
Yeah, but if they would have scored, like if it would have been 2-1 like the other way around, if it would have been like 2-1 when we're at Volcan, and then Tigres winning 2-1 at El Gigante de Acero, Rayados passes because of posición de tabla.
Yeah.
So and like that's cool and all, but like where is the football? Where is the extra time? Where is the blood, the sweat, and the tears that the players earn and to take themselves into the next round?
Yeah, I understand that the rule is definitely controversial, but you guys feel like in a way this makes every league match important? It kind of secures that every team will try their best every single game because they want to make sure that they can get the best finish possible on the table.
It does, and it rewards the teams that finish higher in the table. But at the same time, when you go into a playoff format, you know that it's gonna be even. Like because in soccer nowadays, you're not gonna have a blowout in playoffs. Like it's very rare. Like all matches are gonna be tight. So if you're constantly being this, you know, having the decisive factor as the league table finish, like it's just not good for the spectator.
Yeah, so I mean, Cruz Azul getting it done against Pumas.
Yeah,
4-2 on aggregate.
Yeah, some very good stuff there. They just outplayed Pumas. They were the better team.
Yeah.
And then now the semifinals are Chivas America, you know, Clásico Nacional, which by the way, in Mexico, like the commentators in Tula and Perro was like everybody's already saying like sorry Chivas America, sorry Clásico Nacional, but the superior Clásico is now Clásico Regio Rayados Tigres.
We just talked. We talked about this earlier in like another podcast, but that I feel like that could like I don't watch much Liga MX, but in the few things that I've watched, I feel like the Clásico Regio has grown so much that in compared to the other Clásico.
No, I just think that this year they played a lot. You know, they played in the CONCACAF Champions League. You know, they played in League, and now they're playing again in Liguilla. So they played a lot this year. So I think that definitely has something to do. But you know, the Clásico Nacional is still a Clásico Nacional. You know, it's America Chivas. That's gonna be a crazy semifinal, and then Rayados Cruz Azul. You know, Guillermo, you want to make some predictions?
Yeah, I think we'll take it over Cruz Azul just because like we've been so good defending. Like against Tigres, like Tigres had like a handful of chances, and after that they couldn't get into that final third. We were intercepting those balls in the midfield, and we've been doing that all season. Our and then that's another thing. Like Dan Ortiz, our coach, we were playing like a 4-4-2 against Tigres. We were doing well, but then Tigres adapted, and then we adapted into a 4-2-3-1, and then after that we just dominated the game.
Yeah, both Guadalajara, Monterrey, are below Cruz Azul and America, so they have to push for the wins in those games because they know that if they tie, they're gonna be eliminated. So it will be interesting to see what happens in these matches.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good time. Real Cruz will play today at 6, and you already know I'm gonna be watching that.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, we'll definitely gonna be keeping up with the liguilla updates. But as we go across the border and into the MLS,
MLS, the boys finally got it done. Another big road win for our boys.
Houston Dynamo.
And I gotta give a shout out to Aliou, man. He has really stepped up for this team. You know, despite the issues that Dynamo have had in the final, third and with finishing chances, and it just feels like every game that the Dynamo plays, they dominate possession. They're in the opponent's half, but they just can't seem to put it in the net. But Aliou has stepped up, tried his best to create chances, and he has the most goal contributions currently for the Dynamo. So.
Yeah. He's definitely
very hard for him.
He's definitely one of the best forwards we have had in a couple of years.
Oh yeah,
because he gets things done, and you may like it or not, like yes, it's true that he misses a couple chances, per game, but at the end of the day, his positions demands him to score, and now he's scoring goals. And also talking about scoring goals, Hector Herrera, man,
what a
banger!
goal, dude.
What an absolute!
That was so unexpected too.
What a way to
from
come
that
back.
position. He was near the corner kick, and he just takes a couple touches inside and just puts it in the back post. It was crazy.
Absolute curler. Yeah.
What a way to come back and let the league know, hey, I'm back from injury. This team, we haven't been doing the hottest, but we're this isn't over for us, And Ibrahim, man, he really has been one of our best players. So he's so versatile and stuff, and the goal that he got was like a Griffin Dorsey run, which by the way, Griffin Dorsey just literally ran through the entire team, and then put in a beautiful driven pass into Ibrahim Aliou, and that's just that's what Ibrahim has to do more, man.
Yeah, get in those positions.
Yeah, just make those runs in behind, get in those those positions to get a through ball in. He took a beautiful touch, composure in the box. He's 22 years old, man. He's
got a lot ahead.
Yeah, he's a force to be reckoned with for sure. If we can get just that number 9, man. Imagine that number 9 that takes away the attention of the defenders. Aliou can run. Yeah. Aliou can do whatever he wants, and then just play with Hector. Hopefully, Sebastián Ferreira comes back and into that form that everybody's hoping him to be.
Yeah, this team's got potential. This team can do big things, and obviously because of the format of MLS, where so many teams go into playoffs, anything can happen. And I feel like this MLS teams, at the end of the day, it's about how you finish the regular season and how you transition playoffs. And if you can get things, structured as you transition to those moment of the season, they're gonna do something big.
Yeah, I mean, but looking at the Eastern Conference. Inter Miami, the show continues for them. It just seems like they're never gonna lose.
Hey, but I watched this match, and they were not the best team against Montreal. Montreal actually dominated. They played well, and they scored 2 in the first half.
Yeah,
and then it just speaks about how good Inter Miami is individually. They have Matias Rojas, score an absolute banger from a free kick, and then Suarez scoring a tap-in from a corner kick. So. And that's 2-2, and they were dominated by Montreal during the 45 minutes. But they just had 2 chances. They scored those 2, and all of a sudden you head into the locker room at halftime with a 2-2 score.
And Benja getting the winner in the 59th minute, and Miami gets it done. It just seems like they're never going to lose. But they have their derby match against Orlando tomorrow at Orlando, so that will be interesting to see. And then speaking of derbies, the Dynamo as well taking on Austin FC in Austin. Hopefully they can get some revenge. They beat us at our ground. We need to go beat them at their ground.
Yeah. We will also have announcements in Austin tomorrow. I think they're obviously, the reports that the 2025 All-Star game will be playing in Austin. That's most likely what they're going to announce. But hey, maybe we'll be seeing some European team. That would be pretty cool. So hopefully they have something going on in Austin, interesting, and maybe we'll bring you content about that. So stay tuned.
Yeah, this is the perfect opportunity for the Dynamo to bounce back. We're playing Austin tomorrow, then we're playing Dallas on the weekend.
That's back-to-back derbies.
Back-to-back derbies after losing back-to-back derbies. Yep. We gotta get these dubs again.
Pretty strange fixture as well.
Yeah.
When you look at MLS,
weird schedule.
Yeah.
Just La Copa Tejana.
Yeah, they just wanted to get things done.
Yeah, so interesting matchups, but you know what time it is.
It is time to guess the footballer. You know, what are we, 3-1?
3-1
with one episode where we had technical difficulties, so you guys can say 4-1. This will be this is our 5th episode, so 5th time they're guessing a footballer. And I have a good one today.
We gotta try not to overthink.
Yeah.
Simple.
Boom,
You
boom.
know, I was watching the last episode. We spent 20 minutes for a footballer, so
Okay.
we'll try to make it quicker,
Yeah.
not super
Yeah.
quick.
We have a
guys
timer
still-
now, so
Yeah. So you guys have like 5-10 minutes, you know.
Cool.
But think
Yeah.
things through.
Okay.
This time I'm a bit tougher though. I'm a bit tougher, not with the player, but
with the time.
with the times and with how many decisions you guys can make
All right.
based on players. You know, it's
Okay.
one per group. We're
Okay,
sticking
all
to
right.
that.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, like always, guess a footballer. You know, I choose a player, random player who's most likely playing in Europe, and I tell them, you know, 5 players who he has played with. It can be the club, a former club, or national team. They have to guess who it is. Are you guys ready?
I am ready.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So the baller that you guys are looking for has played with Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. Like
Right.
Rodrigo, Brazilian.
Yeah,
Real
Rodrigo,
Madrid.
young Rodrigo.
Okay.
Real
Okay, I
Madrid.
mean that could literally be any Brazilian. That could be any Real Madrid player
Madrid
right
player.
now.
I'm gonna throw
Throw
Chouameni at you.
Chouameni. That's a good guess, but it's not Chouameni. Remember, they can search up one of the players' careers.
Players'
As of now, you don't want to search up Rodrigo.
No, yeah.
Usually, but the baller that you guys are looking for has played with Rodrigo and Jorginho.
Jorginho, like Italian midfielder.
Yeah, Jorginho.
I have a guess already.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you down?
Um,
or we can take our time.
I mean,
but I
no.
have an okay
Because
guess.
it would have to be a Brazilian that's played.
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna go for Gabriel Martinelli.
That's a good guess, but it's not Martinelli. Let us know in the comments if you guys already have an idea of who this player is. You know, they threw Chouameni and Martinelli. They're not.
That's a good guess.
So the ballers that you guys are looking for has played with Rodrigo, Jorginho, and Alaba.
in Alaba. Okay, well, Madrid maybe, but like
Take your time, you guys don't have to
Jorginho.
rush.
No, yeah,
This is true.
Jorginho.
So
I'm trying to.
Jorginho, Alaba. So definitely has to be.
Because I'm trying to think other links between Rodrigo and Alaba besides Madrid.
Maybe a Bayern.
Alaba
No.
spent many years in Bayern Munich with an extraordinary career.
Yeah.
Right now playing in Madrid, which
Yeah.
was a unexpected signing that just made sense, and he ended up fitting in the starting 11.
Yeah.
Ended up becoming Militao's like partner in the center back position. Right now, I don't know when they come back with this Rudiger. Like I don't know what Ancelotti is gonna do in the center back position, but
I have someone, but I don't think he played with Rodrigo. I have someone, but I don't know if he played with Rodrigo.
Who is it?
I have
Hmm.
Martin Odegaard in my head.
Nah. Ooh, cause he.
I always forget that Odegaard played in Real
Nah,
Madrid.
because I don't.
No,
He
right?
didn't play with Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Because he
I
was
don't
like
think so.
he was
I
with
think-
Arsenal, then he
Yeah.
came back. But I don't think he played with
No.
Rodrigo unless he played like a friendly with Rodrigo. Because when he,
Imagine if this Odegaard would have stayed at Madrid. Jesus Christ.
thank you that he didn't though.
Yeah,
I'm so glad that Madrid doesn't have any of
but
those.
good for
classics
him though.
that-
He found his feet after a
Yeah,
while.
I was thinking of like, but I don't think he's played with Alaba. Not that I remember. At least like Thiago Silva, like, but like maybe like
Or would he have played at with Alaba though?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. He hasn't
Wait,
played.
who you said?
I said Thiago Silva.
But why do you think that he has played with?
Oh,
Like who?
because he was with Chelsea. And
Oh,
then, like,
Alaba. I thought you said Rodrigo. They're both Brazilians.
yeah,
But yeah,
Brazilian.
Alaba.
but
Yeah, I don't think that-
I don't think so.
it has to be like I feel like
Maybe, who was the second player? It was
Rodrigo, Jorginho, and Alaba.
Italians in Madrid, like not that I remember, brother.
You guys a minute to throw out a name there.
It's because like Alaba, like where did you play before Bayern? Like did he like was he like in the, I think it was like
well,
in
he was in the Bundesliga, but he was like at a random team.
Yeah, like
I can tell you.
No,
Nah.
You guys choose. It's early.
I want to wait.
it's
Yeah.
early. It's
Yeah,
early.
and see who we get next, and then we'll see whose career we want to.
Okay, I mean,
Throw a name out there.
yeah, I'm gonna have to throw something out there.
Throw something, and then we'll hope we'll
I
rely
could
on
be
this one
tricking you
player.
guys and saying that it's
Yeah,
not that
that's-
player.
yeah.
but
If you want to throw
actually
Martin, we can throw.
Okay, I'm gonna. It's because Alaba.
Yeah. Nah, but I don't think so. Yeah, you have to throw a name. Let's throw a name.
Let us know in the comments if you guys already have this player.
Dude, this is all right, well
20 seconds.
yeah, 20 seconds. Oh, this is tough, man. Okay, I'm just gonna say Gabriel, the center back.
Gabriel, the Brazilian center back.
Yeah.
It's not a good guess, honestly. Because it's not Gabriel. But I mean, I see where you were going.
I just couldn't think of anything else.
Yeah. So we have Rodrigo,
Okay.
we have Jorginho,
Okay.
and we have Alaba,
Okay.
and now we have Saul.
Okay. Saul from Atletico.
Yeah, Saul.
Spanish.
If you
Saul
guys-
was at Chelsea. It's gotta be that link. With Jorginho, Chelsea.
Let us know in the comments if you guys are doing the math, just like Guillermo is doing it right here.
And then, but like, Alaba, bro. Alaba, where does
Rudiger at Chelsea.
he was?
Okay.
He was at Chelsea.
Was he there when Jorginho was there?
Yes. It's Rudiger, isn't it?
It's not Rudiger.
What? Oh,
But hey, that's a good guess. It's a good guess, but it's not Rudiger.
Oh,
But you guys are in the right track. I'll say
was
that.
convinced it was
I'll
Rudiger,
say that.
bro.
I'll say that. Hey, and appreciate the pride and the
Damn.
you guys went forward with
Because that
Rudiger.
was like Rodrigo, Alaba, Saul. Yeah, he's.
But that's a really good
bro. He's
That's a
been
really
there.
good guess.
He
And
was
I'll say
there.
this: this is an easy player. But the last name that I'm gonna throw out there, you guys are definitely gonna want his career.
Okay.
So he's played with Rodrigo, Jorginho, Alaba, Saul, and Ross Barkley.
Ross Barkley has to be Chelsea, bro.
Okay, we'll give us Ross
Give us
Barkley's
Barkley's career anyway.
Let me go ahead and put this up.
Damn, if it's not Rudiger, like what?
Ross Barkley has played for Everton, then went to Sheffield Wednesday on loan, Leeds United on loan again,
Think I
then
heard it.
then went to Chelsea, then went to Villa on loan. He went to France to play for Nice,
Okay.
and then he's now in Luton Town.
Was Courtois at Chelsea when Barkley was there?
Oh, that's a good question.
He played for Chelsea from 2018 to 2022.
2018 to 2022, I think so. No.
When did he
58
go?
appearances, 5 goals.
When did he go?
When did Courtois go to Madrid? Well,
No, yeah.
Remember, it can be former player, former team, actual team,
but when was Courtois at
or
Chelsea?
national team.
Courtois, because I mean, for a while, like, it's because like they had Kepa, they had like Mendy.
Barkley was at Chelsea from when to when?
2018 till 2022. Pretty recent, honestly.
Courtois, like, okay, I'm trying to think. Like Champions League final 2018. That was
Madrid, Liverpool, and it was Keylor Navas.
it was
starting.
Keylor Navas, right?
Yeah.
2019. That was like
Liverpool Spurs.
yeah.
Okay, so from 2018 to 2022, he was in Chelsea, but from 2020 to 2021, he went to Villa on loan. He was still a
Ross
Chelsea
Barkley.
player,
Ross Barkley went to Villa.
but yeah,
Yeah.
Mostly
I think Courtois,
Chelsea.
Let's see.
Courtois
Courtois played with Rodrigo.
bad shout though.
He played with Alaba, but then Jorginho. That's the issue here.
Well,
With Chelsea.
Jorginho with Chelsea, but like
It's
just
possible.
it's just we don't because like I really
It's just the times, the dates. Is,
because I think the nationalities like I don't think it's good nationality. I think it's the link between Chelsea and Madrid.
I agree.
And, like,
that's
Rudiger
what
was
I'm
there,
linking here.
Courtois was there.
I'll
Like
tell you
who
something.
else was there?
The link is good, but you also gotta think about the nationality. Like I said, it's the three of them.
Okay. So we got Rodrigo, we got Alaba, we got Jorginho,
Saul, and Barkley.
Saul, and Barkley. Okay. Like it can't be Italian.
No.
He can't be
I'll give
British.
you guys 5 minutes
Also,
max. So
Okay.
you guys have until
Like, Yeah, because no
So
like
Spanish.
Spanish. Wait, no, wait. It might be Kepa. It could be Kepa.
It's possible.
I'm
as
not gonna
well.
lie.
It's possible as well.
So you guys have 2 goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Kepa and Courtois both been in Chelsea, both been at Madrid.
That's tough, man.
That's tough.
Because
You will have to be really expert on this because you will have to know the times.
Yeah, because Kepa, like, it just comes down to if Kepa played with Saul, because, like, he could have played with him with the national team, but, like, that's not a guarantee, given, like, Spain and...
But Saul
How's
hasn't
that?
been a constant in the national team. He's been in on and off.
Yeah, so, like...
But
that's not
it's a good
guarantee.
one, too.
Damn, bro, this is tough. Okay,
This is
like,
tough.
another... I mean, like another Brazilian. It's because, like, the Brazilian link with the...
Was
Alaba.
Aspi ever at Madrid?
Spilicueta? No. He's right now he's Atletico.
Yeah. No.
Almost went to Barca. Barca ended up choosing Marcos Alonso instead.
What about... Nah, I don't think Rodrigo was... Because... Nah, he left later. I was thinking, like, Kovacic. But I think...
Nah, I don't think so.
Nah.
Because then, well, no, he probably did play with Jorginho.
Yeah,
Rodrigo, I don't think so.
I don't think
That's
that's
just
I think he had
Rodrigo
already
or
left.
Alaba.
I don't think
Yeah.
it was there.
So no.
Not with Saul either.
I don't know if it's probably between Courtois or Kepa. because
Those are two, like...
those are two good guesses.
Damn. Dude.
It's so broad,
feel like
man.
it could be-
Usually it's not this broad. Like usually by the fifth player, we're like, okay, it's this nationality and this club.
I mean, I feel like...
But there's so many options still.
I'll tell you something. It is one of those two.
yeah,
But you only have one attempt.
Yeah, it has to be
So
one of
you
those
guys-
We
two.
only have one.
Gotta
It has to be
choose.
one of those two. It just
And
comes
you
down
have
to...
3 minutes left.
Did Kepa... Because, like, Kepa, I mean, obviously, like, Madrid, and then Rodrigo Alaba, Jorginho, because Jorginho went to Arsenal, like,
Pretty
last year, I
Yeah.
think. Like, last year,
I'm
January.
down for Kepa, honestly.
You're down for
It's the
Kepa?
safer option.
Because I don't know when Courtois
Like,
left
we don't
Chelsea.
know. And it's a safer option. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I'm down for Kepa.
You guys are going for Kepa?
Yeah, we're locking it in.
You guys are right. It's
Let's
Kepa.
go!
It's
We got the
Kepa.
50.
It's the safer option. because-
It was a safer option because I also kept highlighting that the national team also
Yeah,
plays
yeah.
a part.
And that's why I was like,
Mm.
okay, then maybe it won't be Courtois. But like, yeah, it was.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Let
That
us
was
know
a
in the
good one.
comments if you guys figure it out. If some of you thought that it was Courtois or if it was Kepa.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the only two. I don't think
Let's go.
you could have thought about anyone else.
Yeah.
But that's it for 5th episode of Hay Arquero.
No, yeah. Definitely thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in. As always, follow Hay Arquero on all kinds of socials.
Yep.
And then GLR Broadcasting on all platforms as well. Jordy, you want to...
Jordy Reyes 9 on Instagram, Jordy Reyes 34 on Twitter. We will get rid of the numbers at some point.
At some point.
At some point. I don't know when, but at some point. But yeah, Vicente, where can they follow you?
VGM091102 on Twitter.
Yep.
And then Vicente.gar.m on Instagram. I don't have TikTok.
That'll do it for us. I mean, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Premier League race. We'll see what happens, and we'll have all the news in the next episode. Until then, we'll see you guys. Take care. Peace.